What are you worth? What value are you going to bring to your clients? When you pitch your services to your clients, are you pitching your services or your value? If you're talking mostly about services you provide, then you're doing it wrong and possibly missing out on gaining higher paying projects. Take, for example, you're a designer and you're approached by a client needing logo design services. Do you charge $50 for a logo package, $500 for a package, or $2,000 for a logo package? It depends, right? Depends on the client size. Is it a mom and pop business? They might not be able to afford the $2,000 option, and that's understandable. They think they're looking for the $50 option or quote, but in reality, you can pitch them the $500 package and win. Why? It's because the way you present and sell yourself as a value creator. In that phone call, in-person meeting, or email we write, where we present our quote, you can easily explain the value add that will be created during this project. So how important is this logo? If you're an event planner, having a stellar logo can instantly make someone feel at ease with your level of professionalism, and it gives them enough confidence to contact you to maybe become a client. You can look like $50 or $1 million. Presentation and first impressions are everything. Do people want a logo that lasts for 2 to 3 years? No, because a rebrand is very expensive. And you can create a logo mark that's timeless, less about trends and more about communicating the message to your end consumer. That is how you pitch a logo design project. You have to talk about the value, not just the design of the logo, because anyone can design a low-cost logo. The logo you design may appear on hundreds of products, ads, and images, and to only charge a small amount brings down your services and your value. Remember the creator of the Nike logo? They only charged $50 at the time. Imagine the value they created for that company for such a small amount, probably billions of dollars. A large company needs a quote on developing a digital marketing strategy. I can quote $200, $2,000, or $20,000. If the company is a larger company, my pitch of $200 will not seem like a value add to that company, but they'll see someone who may not be at the professional level they're looking for. The cheapest option is not always the best in the client's eyes. If I quote $20,000 and pitch my value add proposition, they'll understand the value of a strong digital marketing strategy, and their initial budget of $5,000 may develop some wiggle room, and I can get up to $8,000. You meet them in the middle, and you just more than dectupled your potential earnings just by asking for more, being professional, and selling your value-creating services. There are times in a creative freelancer's life when we need to seriously change the kind of clients we seek. When we first start out, we seek out all clients, no matter what the size. Heck, we'll be able to work for free just to gain a chance of doing this for a living. What if I were to tell you, you didn't have to do that anymore? No more bottom-tier clients. To make this happen, there has to be some work on your part. There's some major changes in the way we value ourselves as freelancers that need to be changed. For too long, I have personally undervalued my work, not because I undercharged, but I did not think about the overall value I was giving to the client. Branding and logo and advertising services is a good example of this. I can charge $40 an hour to complete the design on an advertising campaign creative, complete with a poster design, 3 ad sizes for magazines, a paid Facebook and Instagram post, and complete that in about 15 hours. At $40 times 15 hours, that is $600. It's not horrible for something I can accomplish in a week with other projects going on. But was I thinking about the value I was adding to my client? The fact that they needed someone who could deliver these projects on time with a cohesive, solid design theme and on point with its branding? This is how I charge clients for most of my career, and I've done graphic work on campaigns that have reached hundreds of thousands of consumers, and I charged around $40 an hour. I was clearly not valuing my services very highly. I should have been charging $200 per hour or a much higher fixed project rate. It's amazing to think just delivering a project on time, before the deadline, what value that adds. I have worked with many other freelancers who do not hit the deadline mark, and it's disappointing and it costs me and my clients money. So if just being on time adds a huge value to your services, being dependable is another one. Being able to take on new projects consistently, even on a last-minute notice, adds a huge value, and thus your rate or fixed project cost should go up dramatically because of that added value you're providing. There are hundreds of classes on pricing. Some of them address these issues of adding value to your clients. But for creative freelancers out there, take notice of what I'm saying. You are more valuable than you think. Understand the value you're creating for your clients. Most products and services these days are sold on looks, appearances, feelings, emotions, colors, authenticity, and creative freelancers can create a majority of those selling points for clients with their creativity. As a graphic designer, lately I feel like my job is being farmed out to cheaper and cheaper options, but instead of lowering my price to compete, I'm taking a different approach.